Hi guys, today I will talk to you about how I'm going to modify my Stratocaster. This is a made in Japan reissue from the 90s. I love this guitar to death. It's one of my favorites along with my Les Paul that you can see here. It is a great guitar. It was upgraded to a degree. It has the old school 57/62 pickups, the old ones where the pole pieces are not beveled, and I think the coil is a different kind compared to the current ones, and maybe even the impedance is different slightly. These are close to 6 ohm each, I think in the 5.9 plus range, and I love this guitar to death. Has the nice soft V neck profile, which is my favorite Stratocaster neck profile ever that I've ever played. It just fits my hands so well. But there's one issue with it. I mean. When I play it clean, even now you can hear it because I have the lights on and I have other electronic devices around. You can probably hear that there is hum. And that's the 60 cycle hum. It's actually in Europe it's 50 cycles, 50 hertz. And it's essentially the pickups picking up electromagnetic waves from the other appliances, transformers, essentially around me, from the lights, from my computer, and so on and so forth. And if I unplug the Stratocaster, the amp is much quieter. So it's not the noise, not the same as the noise floor of the amplifier. This amp was just it's a 76 champ. I love this amp. Sounds fantastic, and it was actually just serviced by the amp shop in Philly. Check them out. Ron, great guy, did a great job, and I love this amp even more after the service. So anyway, if you listen to the noise from the Stratocaster, that's always a huge problem with single coil pickups, and then people switch to humbuckers, whether that's a full-size humbucker in the back or single coil size humbuckers. And I have some friends with those guitars. I think some of the Stratocaster sound is lost when you use those guitars. So for humbucking sound, I use my Les Paul, or I have an Ibanez that I love for that. Double humbucker type guitars. I love that sound as well. So, but I love the Stratocaster sound also. And I love it for overdriven sounds, even some more high gain sounds. But even, as you can see, even with the clean sound, depending on the positioning and how many devices you have around you, which in a studio typically you at least have a monitor, a computer, powered monitors. There could be a lot of sources for this kind of noise. So it is a problem. It's a problem. It's in the studio, I've gotten feedback on this from producers. They do not, or sound engineers, they do not want to hear this noise. They don't like it. The other guy who came in yesterday had a Les Paul. We didn't have to deal with this kind of sound, this kind of noise. So anyway, that's why I kind of decided to fix my Stratocaster. Actually, let me show you. If I click on my, this is kind of a high gain setting on my little clone here. If I click it on, it's pretty you know, pretty much a non-starter. Like even live in a noisy bar, you know, you would hear that. So kind of rules out the Stratocaster for you know, single coil Stratocaster for anything high gain. So I kind of looked around a little bit, and I found a solution that doesn't require putting a humbucking pickup in here, although you're kind of turning your single coils into a humbucker. So the solution to that is right here. And this is a cheap single coil pickup that I got on Amazon, and I will put the link in the description so you can get it. It's $10 or something like that. You know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be an expensive pickup. And I'm going to take the magnet off of this pickup so that essentially becomes a coil, and I will connect that coil to the output of this guitar under the pickguard. They call it a dummy coil, and essentially it's the same as a humbucker pickup that has two coils, and one of them produces the sound. The other one is really just there to buck the hum. Essentially what happens is both coils pick up the same hum, and when one is reversed, so the end is connected to the front, it essentially produces the inverse of the original noise signal, and it cancels it out. And because you have no magnet in it, it doesn't pick up any of the strings vibrations. So it doesn't produce a guitar signal. It produces the inverse of the noise signal and cancels it out. So that's it's essentially turning these single coils into a humbucker by placing this coil. We have to take off the magnet first. Placing it under the pickguard. Now, I have no idea how well this is going to work. I got a pickup that is pretty much an exact match to the ones I have in here, around 6 kilo ohms. I didn't want this to be on all the time. So I also decided to get, this is from All Parts, a push-push type pot switch that I will put in this position. Which is actually this tone control on my guitar is connected to the bridge pickup, because I like to change the tone on the bridge pickup, and I have no tone connected to the middle pickup because I actually like its sound without anything connected. Just the raw sound of this middle pickup is really nice. Then I have this one connected to the neck pickup. So anyway, I will have a push-pull where I can just engage this dummy coil and disengage it at my will. I expect that I will use it for when I kick in the, kind of a high gain or overdriven sound, or if I really need to be quiet, let's maybe at the beginning of a song, then I will just kick this in and turn my guitar into a more of a humbucker style guitar. And the second thing that, since I'm opening this up, I also kind of wanted to show you that this guitar has a really nice and beefy neck pickup and middle pickup, and it's typical for Stratocasters because they're placed closer to the center of this pickup where the vibrations are stronger, so the sound is really powerful and there's a lot of bass in it. Just a gorgeous sound. But then when I go to the bridge pickup, it's very thin. It's very thin. It's not as loud. It's very thin. Obviously the strings don't resonate as much back here. So I want to make this pickup a little stronger, without having to put in a humbucker again. And the solution to that is this little device. It's a base plate, steel base plate that goes on the underside, the bottom of the bridge pickup, and it's wax coated, so you can just place it on there and melt the wax, and it attaches, basically is glued to the bridge pickup, connected to the ground, and that is supposed to make the magnetic field of the pickup stronger so that you can get a higher output with the same coil, much like a Telecaster pickup. So hopefully from these modifications, all very simple, all very non-intrusive and reversible, but I am hoping that I will eventually finally get my perfect Stratocaster that has all the nice clean sounds, but it also has a little more power when I switch to the lead tone on the bridge pickup, and I will be able to turn the cancel out the hum with that push button. So let me just kind of show you these components up close. Okay, so this is the pickup I purchased from Amazon from Music Lily. You will find the link in the description just to make it easy for you if you want to make this modification. It's a bridge pickup for about $10 and change. It has a ceramic magnet, one magnet bar at the bottom, and then just simple steel pole pieces. Came with the cover. It's actually kind of nice looking, for $10. I am pretty blown away, to be honest, for what you can get at this price. I have no idea if it sounds good, but that doesn't really concern me because I just need the coil from this. So the plan here is to remove this magnet. My plan is to use a iron to heat it up, melt the glue, or soften it at least, and then I will use pliers to just pull this off. And that way, essentially, it just becomes a dummy coil. It's already, the coil itself is already protected by the electrical tape on there, so I don't have to worry about that. And I am planning to kind of clip off these little ears, the extra piece of plastic, because I think the fit is going to be pretty tight under the pick guard. And people say actually that the positioning of this pickup under the pick guard is essential, because really you just want it to pick up the exact same noise that your original pickup is picking up. Also, if you can, try to be as close to the impedance of your pickups as possible. This is around 6K, so I think I'm in a pretty good range. Yeah, so that is going to be my dummy coil. And like I said, I want this to be switchable, so I got a push-push type tone pot, where this is just a standard 250K audio taper tone pot, but it has I believe this is called the SPDT, single pull double throw. So essentially it has essentially one input and two outputs. You can think of it that way. So you can have two separate circuits, and one will just be shorted to bypass the dummy coil there. And the way it works is, this fits your Fender pot knob, so you can, this kind of split shaft potentiometer, and you can just press on it, and that will turn the coil on and off. So this is, again, about $10 from all parts. You can get it on Amazon. I'll throw the link in the description as well. And the last thing that I will use is the base plate that we'll just attach to the bottom of the bridge pickup. Now, for those of you who have dealt with Lindy Fraling, you will notice their signature on there. So it is from, very reputable pickup manufacturer. It's always such a pleasure dealing with them. I had some vintage pickups rewound by them, and they came out fantastic. So, obviously, they're the guy to do that kind of work, but they offer this base plate for about, I think it's $12. I can put that link in the description as well. I got it in about 2 days, and the idea here is that I'm just going to use this pickup to demonstrate, but it doesn't work on this kind of pickup, I don't think, but you need kind of, Al Nico type pickups, but in any case, it will go on the bottom of the bridge pickup like that. You have to heat it up, and it's already wax potted here, and that will melt and glue this to your bridge pickup, and then essentially you just connect it to your ground through this wire. So it's all prepped for you. This should be a 5-minute installation, and like I said, it's supposed to give your bridge pickup a little more beef, a little more bottom end, and a little more output. So here's the pickup without the magnet, which is not really a pickup, it's just a coil. That's where the ceramic magnet used to be. It came off pretty easily after heating it up on the iron for about 2 minutes. Now, this is not magnetic. If I put some metal here, those pole pieces are just steel. So this is really just a dummy coil at this point. One thing I want to point out though is when you heat it up with the iron, make sure you don't burn off the insulation of these cables like I did a little bit. So I'm just going to put some shrink wrap around that and fix it back up, even though it didn't break through the insulation, so I should be good. But just be mindful of that. Just like I did, you can kind of position it on the edge of the iron. Number two, just quick thing for those of you who wear a mechanical watch, do not wear your mechanical watch when you're working on magnets because they can get magnetized. Yeah, so take the watch off for this portion. But yeah, this is my coil. I'm gonna go ahead and clip off these little ears and open up the guitar and find a new home for this thing. Okay, so we are going to take the pick guard off, and I'm going to keep these old strings on because I just want to use it to test the guitar, but after the mod I will restring it with new strings. So but for now, what I typically do is I place a capo kind of close to that nut, and then I can loosen the strings. enough that I can lift out the pick guard with the pickups in it, and at the same time keep the strings in place. So I don't have to worry about rethreading them and that kind of stuff. Okay, so for the pick guard, I just need a Phillips screwdriver. A quick note on this pick guard, you will probably see that this is a replacement because these guitars came with the white single ply one. And I replaced it with the anodized gold aluminum base, I believe. And, you know, funny thing is this has a little texture, and the way I play, I anchor my finger on here as I pick. And it started filing down my nails. So I had to add, you can see a plastic, additional plastic pick guard on top of my pick guard. But that's okay with me because I love the color, love this color combination. But if you're planning to get one of these, just make sure that you're okay with that, or you know, you have a plan for an additional pick guard, because it will file down your fingernails. Okay, so now the screws are off, and let me see if I can pick this out. Typically with the Strat, you can just kind of, if you can lift this up enough, you should be able to kind of flip it around and rest it on top of the guitar so you can start working on your guitar. A quick side note on this pick guard, as you can see a little bit here, the gold is not on there where the components are mounted, and so it works as a shield, and it's automatically connected to all of these components and to ground. So yeah, I mean, it's a cool pick guard. As you can see, these are the old style 57/62 pickups. Actually, the previous owner who put these in pushed out the magnets a little bit, and I see that when they have the staggered pole pieces, and if you want to change the voicing of the pickup, you can actually push on these magnets from either side and push them in and out a little bit. So they did that on these two, which, you know, I don't know what they sounded like before the mod. Right now they sound amazing, so I'm just going to leave it that way. And they did not do that on the bridge pickup, so that's good, because that is where the base plate is going. Okay, so here is my dummy coil, and I guess I could get a little height off by removing these pole pieces, but I think it's still gonna fit, so let's just try it. Now I've seen people mount these next to this pickup, the bridge pickup, if the guitar is routed for humbuckers. This one is only routed for single coils. So in that case, from what I've seen so far, is that it should fit right here between the 5-way switch and the volume pot. Okay, so that's that will be the positioning, and from what I understand, you kind of have to play around with it a little bit. So we are going to try it out and see where it cancels the most hum. Okay guys, so before we do anything, I think we should just put the base plate on. So we just have a little more room here now. So this should be very easy. It's already prepped. There's a piece of masking tape on it, and it's covered in wax. So all I need to do is place it on the pickup like so. And it kind of clicks in place because of the magnets. And then I have to use my soldering gun to heat up this base plate. And I will see when the wax melts on the top, then I know that it's melted on the bottom as well. And that should glue the base plate to the pickup. If you don't glue it using wax, then you will get it will make your pickup microphonic. And so once I have that, then I will just trim this ground wire on the base plate and connect it to the ground on the pickup. So actually, I don't know which one it is, so I could just use my multimeter. And check continuity there. So I know exactly which side I need to solder to. Okay, so it's this side. Okay, so I realized something that might be important. These holes are connected to ground. So, in other words, just through those screws, pickup screws, this plate is connected to ground on two sides. And I'm supposed to connect this lead here to ground. And I'm not sure if it's okay if it's connected to ground in 3 places. I don't know much about ground loops, to be honest, but I think I certainly don't want to rely on just those connections, and it's probably good to connect this part. So I'm just going to do that, and I'm actually going to try to insulate those screws from the base plate. Okay, so I ended up taking out the screws that hold that pickup in place, and I put a little shrink wrap, not shrink wrap, what do you call that? Heat shrink on the screw. I don't think that's going to like fully insulate it from the pick guard, so I'm also going to do that on the other end of it where it connects to the base plate and insulate that. I'm just adding this for extra security, but since I have the pickup out, I just wanted to show you these. These are the old Fender vintage 57/62 pickups that have this dark color coil. It seems to be pretty randomly wound. So I wonder if they just hand wound these. I'm not sure. I think they were like pre-90 something, early 90s, I think. And they have no bevels on the pole pieces. So anyway, just wanted to show you that. Okay, so I actually ended up using a little bit of just rolled up electrical tape because it was thinner. It was a better fit than the heat shrink tube. So you can see it right here. This wraps around that screw and insulates the, I guess isolates the two components from each other, and the same on this side right here. It's not as nice as clean, but it does work. So I think we're ready to melt that wax. This wire is just a cloth wire, which you can just kind of push back the insulation. No need to strip it. I'm just going to tin it. And attach it to the ground. Actually, right now I can do a quick check just to make sure that the base plate is not grounded and my insulation worked. Okay, I'm just going to place this here and the other side on the ground. Okay, so that's insulated there. It's my ground. This is not touching, so that screw is actually touching inside, but my base plate is not, and that's excellent. Cool. Let me just attach this. Very easy, guys. The only thing that complicated issues a little bit is the metal pick guard. But we worked around that problem. Cool. Let's install that dummy coil. The first thing I'm going to do is install the push-push pot right here. And as you can see, there's a ground connection there. I'm going to install that. Well, actually, now I'm thinking maybe you can comment below that, because I have the metal ground. I'm not even sure if I need this anymore. But anyway, I kind of checked the dummy coil already. It actually fits very nicely in here. I can tuck it in here. I'm gonna sit right in this space, and I might use some double-sided tape or hot glue, something like that to put it there. That should nicely fit, actually. Best practice, everyone. Always take photos of the current state, so you can always restore it if you want. This is the wire that connects the switch to the volume pot, and then this goes to the output. So I'm going to disconnect this wire and then add one end of the coil to one side and the other side to here, except that it will first go to that push-push switch. But that's essentially the idea. If you weren't going to do the switch, you could just replace essentially this wire with a dummy coil. Okay, so I had to trim off more of this pickup, the old one that serves as my coil, because essentially the routing in the body goes up to this level. And so the only way to fit this in here is if I move it all the way down to here and kind of angle it like that. So I had to kind of trim around the coil pretty tight. It's not pretty, but it'll be under my big guard. Otherwise, I connected the pot And I just have to connect the coil, and then I can close this back up. The switch is connected, and I ended up taking out the metal cores, whole pieces, whoops, from the coil, and this will be the positioning. So I'm just gonna have to figure out how to attach it there. Might use hot glue or just tape, not sure. Maybe just tape temporarily for now. But yeah, so I just kept the coil. So I'm just gonna plop it in, connect it, and we're good to go. Okay, yeah, I decided to use double-sided tape right there. I'm not ready to commit to hot glue just yet, but it should work. And I kind of found that it doesn't matter where I position it here, it's kind of doesn't matter from a noise standpoint, as long as I can fit it in here. Make sure that it fits in the cavity, and that's it, guys. You just have to connect it. Just by listening to the hum, I realized that the yellow wire goes on this side. If you connect it wrong, it actually doubles the hum. Hi guys, here I am a couple days later, and I've been playing the guitar like this, and I'm loving the sound. It does cancel the hum for the most part. It's still a little noisy, and I think that comes from the fact that this coil is mismatched a little bit compared to that one or the other pickups. But I just love the sound with this engaged. It does sound kind of like a humbucker, which it is. It is a really cool sound. I'm just loving it. I can really use high gain tones on the Strat. I will record some sound samples later, but yeah, it just made the guitar so much more versatile. And I am definitely also getting more power from this pickup because of the base plate. It is more like a tele bridge pickup. You know, I read that and heard that in YouTube videos, but it's true. I'm really happy with this mod. Never mind that ugly solder joint there. I didn't do that. The previous owner of this guitar did that, but it works. So anyway, I still want to try a couple of things here. Number one, I heard that, as you can see, the coil is essentially connected between this connection and the volume pot. And I read this somewhere in a comment that essentially disables the tone pots for this coil, because it's after the tone pots. And what happens is when you roll the tone all the way down, it's not affecting this pickup and it's affecting the other pickup, so you are getting some of that hum back. And then, so the solution to that apparently is to put the coil in place of this little red connector that essentially catches the pickups, the pickup signal, and connects it to the rest of the circuit. You know, in essence, it will connect the coil to the pickup directly before anything else is connected here. So I want to try that. And then the other thing that they said that could be beneficial from a noise canceling standpoint is if this pickup is a better match to the existing pickups. I'm sorry, I keep calling this pickup, but this is just a coil. And those are not magnets, right? Those are just steel cores. So what I'm going to try is connecting different resistors in parallel to this coil to get it closer to the, I think, 5.9 kilo ohms of this pickup. And or maybe lower even. Actually, I read some articles where they recommend that the dummy coil is somewhat lower than the original pickup. So I have some options here. I did the math. You know, obviously the smaller the resistor value, the bigger the change. So I think the 39K will get it down to about, you know, under 6. And then I have some other options here. That should give me a few options, and I'm just gonna plug it up and, you know, we'll see how that affects the tone. But let me resolder this so that the coil is inserted here in place of this red, and then we can give it a try. I have the Strat connected to an amp on high gain, little Marshall 12. This is the hum I'm getting without the coil. If I engage this, just listen. It's much better. I ended up hot gluing the coil. I just feel it's a little more stable that way. I don't know if you can see that, but it's just on the two sides. A little bit of hot glue. In terms of connecting it, I did essentially connect the coil directly to the pickup signal, just like I described earlier. And what else? Oh, I added the right there 33K resistor in parallel, and that actually dropped down the coil from 6.4 to about 5.4, something like that. So it's somewhat lower than the pickups. And oh yeah, and I just use these washers as spacers to drop the that pot a little bit deeper, so you can see it matches the existing ones. It's still gonna stick out a little bit, that knob, compared to the others, but I think it's gonna be a lot closer. Now let me add one more thing. It's not the nicest and cleanest work, and a lot of this has been done by the previous owner, and I think at some point I might actually just come back in here and, you know, maybe buy some better pots even and just resolder everything. But for now, I'm really thinking of this as a trial, a prototype, if you will, and if it works out for me, then I will come back and clean it up nicely. Hey guys, here I am, a couple days later, and just wanted to show you, talk about this mod a little bit. It took me a little while, did it in bits over the weekend, and I love it. It's I wish I had done it a long time ago. The guitar is so nice right now. Essentially, it gives me noise cancelling to a degree at least. Let me show you. So not sure if this comes through, but when I click the button, that hum essentially goes away. And also it's an absolutely invisible mod with the push button. I mean, it's just fascinating. The hum completely goes away. And The other thing that happened is when I engage the coil, I actually get kind of a humbucker sound from the Strat. So it's the clean sound of the bridge pickup. This is the original sound. And definitely, it's subtle, but it feels very different. And then I can kick in some crazy distortion. You know, just for the reference, might sound a little noisy, but this is a noisy pedal, so if I kick in the single coils, check this out. You hear that hum? It's gone. And I get to shred on my Strat. I couldn't be happier, you know, and I did notice that the mod takes a little bit of the sound away, and I think in terms of a clean Stratocaster sound, you probably want that hum, you know. It just makes it nicer, and you know that's more for the neck pickup, in my opinion. Yeah, it's just really beautiful when you know, with the hum, like. Now, if I do the hum canceling, again, subtle, but I prefer the old way. So I can just, you know, push this back in, and I have my old Strat, and I can engage the extra coil, and I have more of a high gain guitar, you know, and I really did this mod so that I can play the Strat with more high gain sound. So I'm gonna hook up this little Marshall Lead 12 and show you some high gain riffing with the Strat, which is, you know, it's been my dream to be able to do that with the Strat. Well, actually, before I do that, let me just show you, just for comparison, if I do the kind of the Strat, so that's the original noise. That's the noise canceling. The Les Paul. So, you know, these are actually mismatched coils on the Les Paul. It's actually tuned to D, but this one has I believe this is the Burstbucker 1. And then this is the Alnico 2 / his original pickup. And I think these are mismatched coils too. So this still has a little bit of a hum, you know, just like the Strat. Definitely more powerful pickups than the Strat. The Strat is still a Strat, but you know, it really definitely has a more humbucker type sound. So again, I highly recommend doing this mod. There's some expensive products out there that do the same thing, for like $200 and more. If you don't feel confident doing these things on your own, you can get one of those products and have them professionally installed. This one that I did only works on my guitar really because my middle pickup is not reverse wound, reverse polarity. Because in that case, the extra coil would actually add to the noise. So it works out for me. I think I pretty much got my perfect Strat right here. Super happy.